Hello, this is not a spring chick. Yes, the celebrity chick, and we've got lots of news coming to you from the Teen Choice Awards, gifting treats and parties. But of course, the big news for today is Twitter is down. How can that be? Those malicious, what is that? That's horrible. We're crossing our fingers. They've been down as of this taping as of 5 hours, so we're hoping that they will be up soon. Because I know, like us, many of you enjoy Twitter. So for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. It's like, current government health plan would allow abortion coverage.
Oh yeah, they said that basically it's a dead issue now because they discovered the thing. They said it had been written out, and then they found that it had been put right back in again. So they basically lied to the conservatives and the moderates in the House of Representatives and in the Senate both.
Well, you know, nobody's reading those bills anyway.
Well, no, they said that what they did, well, it was rewritten in such a manner that although that it would be in it, you couldn't get federal funding for abortions. And then they found, well, yes, the federal funding for abortions is there. It was just written up in a different manner.
Remember that joke they used to say about politicians? Which is, how do you know if a politician's lying?
They open their mouth.
I mean, it sure seems like that. What happened
that's
to
Will Rogers, I think. So.
What happened to a gentleman's handshake? Okay. Anyway, Obama going after anyone that doesn't support Obamacare.
Oh, I know.
Now can you believe this one?
They said that he basically, I love this one. Even the people that support him, he's wanting people to send in emails, addresses, and the names and occupations of where people live that basically don't agree with him.
Can you believe that one?
They said that this one outraged everybody because
that's going to outrage Democrats and Republicans.
I saw one of the comics last night. That's one of his supporters going, "Mine Obama," and then they did a whole thing about
my God.
We salute the chosen one. We salute the chosen one. They did that. Basically, his popularity clumped. I
cannot believe he came out and said that in public.
His personal popularity is now below 50% after that stupidity.
I mean, obviously he must have been going off script for that one.
No, they said it's just this. No, the whole group, the Democratic National Committee, Gibbs, all the left-swinging members of Congress and the Senate are now send to the government, whatever.
Are you serious?
Yep.
It was like a whole group plan.
It is because it's talking points. I saw last night the talking points thing where they sent it around to loyal members of. I love this. Loyal members of the party.
Oh my.
What's that sound like? But he is a socialist. And everybody knows it.
Hell, Hitler. But
right.
Hitler didn't.
Hell, Obama.
But Hitler wasn't a socialist though. He was a dictator, wasn't he?
He wasn't a socialist. He was a nationalist.
Okay. And the difference between a socialist and a nationalist is?
Nationalist wants to do something for their country. Socialists want to do things for the world.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Senate reaches deal on $2 billion cash for clunkers refill.
Well, they said they never needed a deal because all Obama had to do was just to write his name to the check to begin with. They also said, we're going to get into another spot called Do You Know, but they said that the claims for clunkers they said it added nothing. All it did was it took from Peter to play Paul. These were people that were going to buy the cars anyway.
Well, what difference does it make then?
It made no difference. Plus it said it hurt the dealerships that couldn't get in on cash for clunkers.
Oh.
I mean, this was the biggest bunch of BS ever, and they know it didn't work. It was a total and absolute failure.
I also heard it hurt the charities that normally would have gotten it.
I mean, we got Los Angeles, we got some charities that basically survive off of getting them their car, because what they do is they use them to drive people around in for a while, and then they part them out. They said that there's a great problem about cars. Were there 23,000 cars? Were there 150,000 cars? Were there 1 million cars? Were there 2 million cars? All they said was the amount of cars that they got in parts exceeded the amount of money that was put into the cash
program.
Yeah. Well, and they said a $20,000 car is worth like about $30,000 to $40,000 in parts.
Well, see, now there's a problem because if they junked it, then you don't get the money from the parts either.
And they aftermarket, which is SEMA, which we attend every year, basically are unbelievably angry.
They've got to be really unhappy with that.
Because it's basically destroying all the cars so you can't have parts.
Officials, 27 missing after ferry sinks off Tonga.
Yeah, some of them are Americans this time.
Ooh.
Yep.
It just sunk, or did something happen?
It just sunk, and no, these ferries in other countries sink by the tons.
Oh. Parole for Manson follower and would-be Ford assassin.
She was okay. She simply, here we go. She simply was misunderstood and should never have been there to begin with, even though she did threaten to kill the President of the United States.
Oh.
Yeah, there are no more terrorists. There are only misunderstood individuals that can be talked to.
Psychological Association repudiates gay to straight therapy.
Supposedly, if you're gay, you can't become straight.
Yeah.
Which means it's a biological function then, folks, which is what the gay people... I mean, I once heard Jesse Helms, who really did not like gays, he said specifically, he said, if I knew that these poor people had a biological problem, I'd be the first one standing in line to champion helping them.
But they don't want to be labeled as having a biological problem.
That's right.
About half of U.S. mortgages seen underwater by 2011.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they're going to be paying this, okay, what it says, you can dump your house and go buy a new home, which means that's how,
what?
Okay, this is what people that are underwater are doing. They're basically
Oh,
allowing
that's
their home
right.
to be foreclosed and then simply going out and getting another home.
Because the money that you save by not paying off your other house.
You can buy another house is better than the one you had.
But doesn't it screw up your rating?
They don't care because they get out from underneath the house they can't afford and get into a house that's better that they can afford.
Well, you
They're sure about the credit rating because they know somebody will loan them the money, mainly Obama.
Well, it's kind of hard to argue with that one.
Yep.
Obama vows to pass health care reform.
Well, he's going to do it. We would like to have at least a few Republicans. Now, at least, they know they're not going to get any. But if we don't have them, we're going to give the people of health reform because they are demanding it. No, they're not. They said it's like, the polls now say almost 70% of the people are against it.
That's a pretty high poll.
And it's growing.
How often do the 70%?
Yeah, because even though the Obama and all his people, the line is, these are mob rule at all these town hall events, which basically are mostly Democrats attending. But basically, these are AstroTurf people. It's a manufactured rage because the people in the country are demanding that we give them this program. No. The polls all show that they're tanking horribly.
Middle income family spends $221,000 to raise a baby.
Well, my family knew that 40 years ago. So
it's always been expensive to raise a baby.
Yeah, it's always expensive to raise a baby. And this was a figure they gave out when my
Did they give that figure out 30 years ago or something
actually,
close to that?
We're talking, my sisters are old. We're talking 55 years ago. I think that was the same figure.
Obama lets North Korea's Kim save face.
Well, yeah, because my guess is Obama didn't want to be seen doing it, so I'll bet you that Bill Clinton went over and apologized to him.
Well, you're probably right.
Which is why Bill Clinton, who's always got a smile on his face, unlike Obama, was very unhappy the entire time he was there because he went over Hillary said,
Hillary didn't do it because he called her a schoolgirl.
Yeah, but he said Obama needs to apologize to him, but if he apologizes to him, the Republicans are going to eat him to pieces. So Bill went and did it.
I know, but still, there's something about having a former president go over and,
Well, they said that they said the more the details that are coming out, the more it smells.
It just is not right. I'm sure there's all this other stuff, but to have a former president, you don't have your Secretary of State go.
I know it. Because they wouldn't. They give Obama a list of people that they would allow to come over to it. They said a list of people was submitted unofficially to come apologize for the United States.
So it's like
what? And Obama was at the top of the list, but he wouldn't go.
Yeah, my question is, what's next?
Well, they're going to want probably Obama to fulfill his promise and talk to Ahmadinejad and publicly apologize to them. Publicly do it, and he'll do it.
Oh boy, I'm sure they're waiting for that one. And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
There's always time to change direction before you go off the cliff.